to go for the line that we were discussing, and that line loses.
What line did he? He did go for the line. Knight g5, rook takes, check. Sometimes a good Nepo, as you were saying, Peter.
E6 now.
He sees everything. Now he's on a stride. E6, and that makes all the difference in the world for having the pawn on f6.
Question, E6, rook e7. Was it rook?
I think
H1?
it was rook.
Rook e7, rook h1. You force rook h7, then you go rook f1.
Oh,
So
that's
e6,
nice.
rook e7. We don't want to go to h7 until you force us to go to h7. And now, rook f7.
Yeah, and after queen e7, I think the easiest is just to go rook f7 and then take with the pawn.
Yep.
You do have queen f8. And now we just
And
include
knight.
the knight. Yeah, we just include the knight in the conversation. Just go knight f4.
Something about this knight on a5 that's just tragic. And we do have the pawn coming.
I think knight got to a5 really early in the game, and then he just never moved on move 11. Yeah.
Yeah. E6. And we've been saying throughout our broadcast how very difficult it is to win a game. And this has actually been an extraordinary game. And if Nepo does win it, I mean, you got to tip your hat. It wasn't, I mean, he went
Took a lot of risks.
G4, G5, H4, rook A2, rook G2.
And this also ties in with the conversation we had at the very start of the round about whether you want to kind of push it.
You're right.
Whether you have to want to go completely all out to win a chess game. And today is about as all in as I've seen anyone play in tournaments of this magnitude, because Jan has gone for a line which I'm pretty sure he knew wasn't entirely sound. Even I would go as far as saying that.
Right.
And to Anish's credit, he accepted. He picked up the gauntlet very much. He could have actually played in a much more controlled fashion in the opening. I thought, specifically for him, that option of going knight h5, f5 early on should have been
considered.
Yeah, taken advantage of. Yeah. But he played really, really well until he miscalculated with knight f6. Like, he made few mistakes. Not seeing knight b3 in a bunch of positions maybe could be counted as a mistake, but those are difficult decisions. But this is what you get when you go for this kind of a bluff as Jan.
Yeah.
You get a game in which one mistake probably will be sort of two mistakes. Yeah, the first and the last one.
Yeah. For me, the most difficult move to really, I mean, knight f6, okay, it's a nice move, but queen c6 is so much superior. As we know, thanks to the engine, knight b3 is superior. But queen c6 in particular, you hit the rook on a8 now, so you hit the pawn on e4. And then the idea that you're bringing your knight into play.
I'm still very curious. I'm still very, very curious what would have happened if he took with the queen on e4.
Exactly.
Jan did have, I think, 45 minutes at the time.
And on good Nepo day, maybe he'd find queen a4.
Yeah.
And Nepo is playing like a breeze here. He's just snapping out all of his moves. He's seen the finish. That's what it.
And that would have been such an instantly publishable game if he finds queen a4. I mean, it will be a publishable game anyway.
Of course.
Right.
But that would immediately elevate it to cult status, I think, because queen a4 in that position, a quiet move which doesn't even have an immediate, easily explicable threat in it.
Wow.
Doesn't even threaten a check.
It threatens queen. I suspect it threatens queen g4. I think that the reason it's so strong is that we're trying to play queen g4, which is stronger than going via b1 and g6 for some reason.
By the way, putting the finishing touches on the game.
Yeah, he'll
rook
go rook
h1,
f1. And this
rook h7, rook f1. And talk about your thoughts wandering. Has it ever crossed your mind during the game that, oh my God, I'm playing a brilliancy and this is going to go into the record books? Or, oh my God, my opponent's playing a brilliancy.
My opponent, yes.
This is going to go into the record books.
There's always self-doubt. I'm like, I probably missed something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it goes through my mind. Like, this is the.
But I do have the fear of losing a miniature game. And then they're published that way.
Why is it that Nepo runs so hot at times, and then sometimes he just goes into this kind of a spin where he doesn't even seem like interested in the tournament
I don't think
anymore.
he knows, and I definitely don't. I think if he knew, he would have
Corrected
been
it.
easier to adjust for it and correct
Right.
it, maybe, if it's something that needs to be corrected. But you have mercurial players who are
A beautiful word,
very
absolutely.
dependent on how they feel and because of how things are working internally. He is a very obvious example of that. But yeah,
Yeah.
Queen D8
Queen D8.
doesn't really change very much. We're still winning the Rook
Rook
F7.
F7.
We don't even need to think here. Queen H4, King D1, and King C2.
Yeah.
Rook F7 instantly played.
Right.
Yeah, Jan knows how this wins now. Yeah, Jan has calculated all of it through the end. He is not even double checking himself. He is done all the
also,
double checking on Anish's
When you're
time.
this close to winning, you get so excited. You can't stop yourself to think for a minute. You're just so excited to win.
You want the score sheet signed as
Yeah.
quickly as possible.
Absolutely.
And it has to be Queen 8. I mean, look, if you're going to go down, you need a good spike check,
Go
right?
down with the check.
He even
you-
get two, yeah.
Yeah, and you were
And
saying,
I'm not even
Peter?
sure anything apart from King D1, King C2 is winning. Everything else might actually throw it away, but it's impossible to. I forgot about Queen A4.
Wait,
And-
there's more than one check.
Ah,
See that?
now did you want to play King D2?
Yes.
And then the idea
Knight
was,
B3,
yes,
King E1,
yes.
H4?
Queen H4, King D1. You
And
have to
now-
now you
Queen
now have to
H1?
give a check from H1. I go King C2. You
But
have Knight
did
A1
we-
check.
Could we have played on Queen H4 just Knight G3?
We could, yeah, of course.
Just to
No, but
avoid-
this still wins, right? King
I'm
C2.
sure it's still.
I think it's just actually a kind of a funny situation.
He took on F7, yeah.
The funny situation. The knight ends up on A1. At least the knight wasn't stranded on A5. Sorry, but to your point, Knight G3 was a good turn.
But yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think
Now-
he's going to play Queen F8, and actually Knight F4, Queen G7, you still have to think a little bit. The cleanest one is to go Queen F6 check first. You go Queen F6 check here, King H7, and then Knight F4, yeah. Once again,
Jan is
zero,
not thinking at all.
zero pause, yeah.
Yeah, he's
And now Knight F4, and you're just winning with checks, yeah. Game,
Wow, I
game
think he
completely
calculated
over.
this like half an hour ago. Because
Right.
He's playing it so fast.
Game completely
Yeah, I think he just
over.
checkmate in a couple of moves now.
Yeah, Queen F5 check, and then a knight check on the next move is the biggest threat. Yep,
Anish resigns.
very played by Jan.
wow.
Took a massive risk out of the opening, and it paid off.
And you feel like that last dozen moves, what you just said, he saw it 30 minutes ago. I was like,
Or something. Yep.
Definitely when he played Queen C1. Maybe
Yeah.
even earlier, but definitely when he played Queen C1.
congratulations, Jan. A very, very, very impressive attacking game. I mean, a very instructional game as well. Now see we have
Should check with Alireza and
3
NBL.
games left.
Yes.
And it's time to check our
The other
tournament
two
leader.
pretty even, but MVL